Hey, folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Tuesday, October 15th. It is the beginning of week 7 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are 4-2, tied for first place in the AFC North. We're going to talk to Mike Tomlin on the South Side a little bit later today. Have more from that here on the YouTube channel, along with another episode of Afternoon Drive with myself and Zachary Smith around 6 p.m. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing here on the Steelers Now YouTube channel. Right now, I want to talk about the Steelers' start to the 2024 season. They are, as I said, 4-2. They are tied for first place, and examine whether or not this start is sustainable. Can the Steelers continue to operate under the blueprint they've had for the first 6 games and expect to win 4 out of every 6 the rest of the way or thereabouts? Because, at the end of the season, if you've won twice as many games as you lost, that is a pretty good year, right? That is a very, very, very good season. That gets you to somewhere around 12-5 or 11-6. Depends on how the math falls on that 17th game. But it'll be 13-4. So I wanted to examine that. We also talked about this not that long ago, maybe just before the season, about teams with great defenses and mediocre offenses, right? We examined that and said that it's pretty rare for a team to get far into the playoffs, to have a good season with a top 5 team defense and a bottom 10 offense, right? We just said, you kind of have to be above that bottom 10 offense range to really feel like you're a threat to do something with your season. And guess what? The Steelers have done that. They are, they're 18th in scoring. And so that's out of that bottom 10. And they're not, they're right about league average. Generally, over the last few years, league average has been about 21 points per game on offense. The Steelers are 20.7. So they are right there about league average offense. That is good enough if you're going to have a great defense. And the Steelers do have a great defense. They are 14.3 points per game against. That's second in the NFL, only to the Los Angeles Chargers, who I would not have picked as the best defense in the league, but there you have it. The Minnesota Vikings, Denver Broncos, and Chicago Bears are also in the top 5. Not a whole lot of Super Bowl contenders there. Kansas City Chiefs just out of that realm in 6th. But they are beating that blueprint that we talked about. They are in the top 5 in defense, and they are middle of the road in offense instead of bottom 10. And that combination can absolutely get you a 10-plus win season, playoff victory, things like that the Steelers have been looking for. I tweeted out after Sunday Night Football that the Steelers were first in the AFC in point differential through 6 weeks. They actually were passed by the Buffalo Bills last night on Monday Night Football by 1 point. So now they are second in the AFC, but 6th in the entire NFL in point differential. Point differential is just the sum of the points for and points against over the course of the year, and it's generally perceived as being slightly more predictive than just looking at a team's win and loss record. For example, last year after 6 games, the Steelers were also 4-2, and they had a negative 31 point differential. This year, plus 38. So compared to last year, yeah, you should be able to say, hey, these Steelers, what they're doing is a lot more likely to continue than what we saw from the 4-2 start that they had to the season last year. And the fact that they're doing better than almost all of their contemporaries, including teams like the Chiefs in the AFC, should provide a significant amount of faith in what the Steelers have done so far. Now, a lot of people are going to say, yeah, but they haven't played anybody. And that's kind of true. I mean, they have not had a very difficult schedule. But I don't buy that they haven't played anybody either. When you look at the strength of schedule of games played, the Steelers are negative 0.01. That basically means that they are just this close to being the average schedule from the league so far. The Detroit Lions actually have the averagest strength of schedule so far at 0-0. The Commanders are positive 0.1. But so Yeah, they haven't played a great schedule. They haven't played a difficult schedule, but they've basically played the average schedule in the NFL to this point, and they've come away with a top 5 defense, a middling offense, and that has combined to give them the 6th best point differential in the league. I'm not saying the Steelers are the 6th best team in the league. I'm just saying if they continue playing like they're playing, they should expect to win more games than not. And I think that ties into yesterday's conversation a little bit where we talked about the offense of Justin Fields and what the right way to go about things is going forward, right? I said, I don't think they can have a dynamic passing offense with Justin Fields, but I think maybe they can use his legs a little bit more than they have and just kind of get by without a passing offense and just be a team that runs the ball with Najee Harris, runs the ball with Jalen Warren, runs the ball with Justin Fields, and occasionally throws to George Pickens and Pat Freiermuth, and that's it. I think looking at these numbers gives me a lot more faith in that plan's ability to succeed. Like if these numbers look this sustainable, look this good, and the Steelers have not passed the ball well at all, they are 28th in passing in the NFL. Only the Chargers, Browns, Titans, and Patriots are worse. But if they can continue to put together a statistical profile that looks sustainable without a passing offense, then maybe you don't need to make a change as long as Justin Fields keeps not turning the ball over. I think that's really the key thing here is that the Steelers have not turned the ball over. They have as an offense, they have the 4th fewest turnovers at 0.67 turnovers per game. And they've turned the ball over on the other team on defense. And they are 6th with 17.7% of the opposing drives ending in turnovers. So as long as they can keep turning the ball over, not turning the ball over, running the ball, and playing elite defense, maybe they don't need to pass to have success. Again, I'm not saying that gets them to the Super Bowl, but it looks like that should get them to a pretty good season. We shall see. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to piggyback off yesterday's conversation, talk about some of those numbers we talked about earlier in the year. I feel like 6 games is a pretty decent sample to see where a team is at. And they're going to have to make a decision this week about what to do at quarterback. So these are the numbers they have to make it with. And I think you can make an argument that Justin Fields' legs alone are enough to keep him and not turning the ball over are enough to keep him in that starting role for now. I don't think he's earned a particularly long leash, though, because of the lack of passing that we've seen so far. And it would not surprise me if some point we do see Russell Wilson. That's it for today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And like I said, we'll sketch you back with Smitty here around 5 or 6. And we'll hit everything that we talked about with Mike T on that podcast, The Afternoon Drive. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, enjoy.